What's up everyone, this is Saiyan back with a new Let's Play for you all. Let's play Digimon World 2. Now let's not waste any time before that animation comes back to haunt us. Now let me give you a little skinny about how I really encountered this game while we put in our character's name, which is only 5 characters long. I don't understand why that's only 5 characters long. Anywho, I got into this game thanks to the anime, primarily Season 2. Now, if you guys have any questions about this game or the series it's based on, please let me know. I'd be glad to help you in any sense. And really, I'm going to be skipping through a lot of tech because it's not all that important. Really, it's not. It's a generic brand of bullshit that just about every game gives you. Meet up with the Blue Falcon guard team leader. And I'll tell you guys all about the guard teams later on, trust me. No need to worry about that. In case you guys are wondering, no, this game has nothing to do with the anime. In fact, I don't believe any of the World games have anything to do with them. Well, in the first one, it was pretty much a 3D interpretation of the Tamagotchis. This one is a literal dungeon crawler, and you'll see what I mean in just a few moments. 3 is more of a traditional RPG. You walk around and get random fights. The 4th one, oh god, I have no idea what the hell that even is. But trust me, a lot of people do not like it, and I can see why. Good god, what were you thinking, Bandai? Do you really need to sell more games that badly? They're making more like the first 3. Either one of those formulas would have been fine. But I'm not here to rant on the game. I'm here to play a game, for God's sake. Okay, here is the main map screen. What is wrong with me? Screen, excuse me. Orange highlighted areas are new areas. Basically, places you haven't been yet. Big shock. The only place we can go, really, is the domain. And trust me, all the places are called domain. At least, almost all of them. Okay, let me go with the controls. You can move in all 8 directions. Up, down, left, right. Up, left. Up, right. You get the idea. HP, obvious. EP. That's how many steps your beetle can take. If you go over that, you have to be shipped back into the digital city. Alright? The select button chooses how you want your map displayed, either as a mini-map, as a overlay, or no map at all. I don't know why you wouldn't want the map displayed at all. I don't know why. But I'm going to choose the overlay since it's probably the most convenient. Square button when a Digimon is in the field allows you to see how many Digimon is in that party, because they are not all on the screen. Mainly represented by 1 Digimon in the party. This one has 2, both level 5s. If you press X, see what gifts you have in your inventory. Gifts are what allow you to get Digimon to join your party. You can't catch them. This is a Pokemon. And triangle is traditional, canceling. And the circle button is your basic start button. It's your inventory, it's your status screen, all that jazz. You can basically see all the Digimon you have in your party, see them in your server, see what items you have, your status, your general status, the status of your Digibeetle and all of its parts, and any important items you may be carrying up to that point in time. Now we got that out of the way, let's get to our first fight. Fights are traditional. I am bad with language today. Yikes. Battles are traditionally 3-on-3. Or, for later on, less and less, for parties. Let me go over the attacks for a Digimon. Attack is your basic attack. Although some will increase your attack power, some will decrease your opponent's attack power, and so on and so forth. They're varied attacks. Counterattacks are a different story. They only give out their full potential when your Digimon is hit with a physical attack. Otherwise, they do a weak attack, and they move last in battle. Interrupt attacks. When an opponent attacks, you have the option to interrupt that attack with an attack of your own. Quite self-explanatory. These attacks range from causing your opponent to move last, lowering attack power, and so on and so forth. Assist is kind of like your white mage spells. It's healing, it's recovering your status, it's even raising Digimon, up, healing them and reviving them, and other such things that go along with that. And I'm just going to have all my guys attack the same Digimon, Gizamon. And yes, all the attacks in the game come with their own little bit of Japanese dialogue. Ridiculous, I know, but it kind of adds to the cant value of this game, to be honest. But the game would feel kind of empty. I'm not going to be pausing to listen to all of the dialogue, trust me, that would take forever. But there are a few funny ones to listen to. Now, I'm not making fun of the Japanese. It's just that some of the names they give the attacks in Japanese are freaking hilarious. And Digimon in and of itself is a very silly series. And that is a floor panel. Jumps us to another floor, but it's a one-way trip. So decide when you want to jump in. Because once you go in, you can't come back out. And whenever you see walls like this in a domain, that pretty much means that you're on the last floor. Although that doesn't really ring true for the later levels in the game. These are specialty floors. This is the water one. Increases damage from water attacks, and Digimon with a water specialty Shibas, can I talk today? Their defense increases. And there's four more. There's Fire, Nature, Machine, and Darkness. In case you want to know what it is, you can always examine the floor. I'm starting horrible today. You can always examine the floor by hitting the X button. Like so. And also, the X button allows you to open up chests, they allow you to go through traps, they allow you to fire weapons when you examine an obstruction in your way. Generally, it's just for examining stuff. And this is fire specialty floors. And that is Leomon, our first boss, but he is not alone. Unfortunately, we were not able to figure out who's in his party until we fight him. worry about the audio skips. That's just my copy of the game kind of screwing up, so don't worry about your computer going nuts or anything. So his party consists of himself, Vidramon, and Toy Agumon. And this is kind of where Vidramon made his debut in the US, since at this time, I believe we only had X-Vmon for a champion level. Champion level for Vmon. So it's kind of contrasting with the show a bit, but again, it's not based off the show. Overall, I kind of like X-Vmon better. But that's just me. One attack from... spoke too soon. I was going to say one attack can take him down, Toy Agumon, but I guess not. But we're already done with Digimon. Yeah. And overall, Toy Agumon is very weak. After all, he's only a normal. He's only a rookie level Digimon. In this game, there's only about 4 levels. Yes, there are only 4 levels. Why am I saying almost? There are only 4 levels of evolution. The lowest it goes is Rookie, and the highest it goes is Mega. The ones we're using now, all the Digimon we have in our party, those are all ultimates. So this battle is kind of one-sided. Since Leomon and Vidramon are both champion level, and that's really the second stage. But by the end of the game, you probably will have at least 3 Megas in your party. Probably more if you choose to have backup, in case you get screwed over. Really, the only thing threatening about Leomon is that his counterattack, the Beast King Fist, hits pretty damn hard. But when you gang up on him, he's not going to last at all. That's strange, in all my earlier playthroughs of this game, Mega Seedramon always went first and not Lilymon. Whatevs. Can't mean really much. Goodbye, Leomon. That's it for him. Now what's left to do is get out of here. Here's the exit portal. When you go inside, your mission is done, you're able to go back. Although, if you look in your menu, you see an option called Autopilot. That lets you go to the city whenever you want. And when you run out of HP or EP, yeah, you're forced to go back. And then you gotta pay a nice hefty fine in order to get yourself repaired. So be sure to hit autopilot before your stuff breaks down. Yes, Pseudocorn, I know. I can explain this myself. And here we're finally able to get our Digibeetle. Basically the tank that you saw before. Except ours is not nearly going to be as good. Big shock there. We only get a steel body, whereas I think he has titanium, I believe. I believe that there are three different metals in the game. And we'll get to them eventually. Now we gotta name our Digibeetle itself. I know just the name. And by the way, the character limit for this one is 7. So think hard before you put in the name, otherwise you might just screw yourself over. Naming him Epsilon. Now we can finally get into the heart of Digital City. Let me run down all the locations pretty fast. Bangay is pretty much where we just were. You're able to buy some more parts for your Digibeetle, as well as ammunition, and deploy for missions. Coliseum is where you can go against other tamers for prizes and for increase of your rank. Otherwise, it doesn't give you any XP and it requires money to enter. Digimon Center is where you can trade for Digimon with special attacks and abilities. but you gotta supply a Digimon that they're looking for in order to trade. So if you want a Digimon that's offered here, keep looking for the one that they're looking for. You just might get it. Tamer's Club is basically where you get some information, and it's also required to go through the story at one point. A couple points, actually. And finally, there are the guard teams, the Black Swords, the Blue Falcons, and the Gold Hawks. Now, each of these areas specialize in one type of Digimon. The Black Swords specialize in virus types. Now, virus types aren't necessarily evil. They're just used for evil purposes. These guys use them to combat that evil. Kind of ironic in a way. If you choose to join them, you get Digimon, who, as you might know from the anime, as that little prick who was followed around Myotismon, who's actually the rookie form of Myotismon, believe it or not. In case you're wondering who Myotismon is, he's the vampire in the beginning of the FMV. Right? Blue Falcons, you might know, considering we were just in here in the beginning. If you choose to join these guys, you'll get Patamon as your partner. A lot of people know about Patamon. He's kind of the... I wouldn't exactly say the Pikachu of the game, because I think that Agumon's a hell of a lot more popular and well-known than Patamon. But he's definitely one of the more popular ones. He digivolves into the Angelic Angemon series, with Magna Angemon as his ultimate and Seraphimon as his mega form. So if you're up for holiness, I guess, you don't really know a lot from data types. Data types are very varied, and they have a lot of interesting techniques and a lot of cool designs. So if you're up for that, go for the Blue Falcons. But I'm guessing a lot of people are probably gonna join the Gold Hawks for a good reason. You get Agumon as your partner. Now, I'm pretty sure I'm right when I say this. He's probably the mascot of the game and of the entire franchise. Because let's face it, Agumon is badass. It has one of the best Digivolution lines in the entire franchise. With the Greymon series, just about everyone knows about Greymon and his various forms. And he's got a shitload of them. Excuse me. The Gold Hawks basically deal in vaccine types. A lot of the good guys you see in the anime and various other ones that you didn't get to see. So if you're up for palling around with Agumon and his various buddies, go for the Gold Hawks. Bonus note over here, since I'm starting with my words. If you want Vmon, the blue Digimon in the beginning who was pounding on the screen, a lot of people like him as well. You can only get him from vaccine types, and he's nowhere in the wild. Neither are his evolutions, for that matter. You can only get Vmon through what they call DNA Digivolution, which I'll explain at a later time, not in this video. Now, originally I planned to have you guys vote for which team I would join, but after looking through a lot of walkthroughs and Let's Plays of this game, and there are quite a few, a lot of people actually settled on either Digimon or Agumon. I think I only saw one or two that actually chose Patamon. I believe that's who I'm going to choose today. So, no voting, votes already cast, too late. In this left room is where all the Digivolution is done. And I can explain that later, not now. Yes, only a few Digimon don't go past even the champion level in this game, which is kind of disappointing. But there are many others that can go even to the Mega level. Thankfully, all the starters do go to the Mega level. And the right side isn't all that important to the game, but it's pretty much where you talk to various tamers about various stuff. This is more the blue-collar team, I guess you could say. Whereas the other teams are more extremists in opposite ways. And this is Cecilia, we saw her from before. She's the leader of the group. Unfortunately, in the beginning you're only able to capture or befriend Digimon of your same type. But later in the game you get items that can go for all types. Thankfully there is only 3. Yes, we will join the Blue Falcons. Please note that this is my first time ever using the Blue Falcons. Because first time I played this and beat it, I used Black Swords. Second time, Gold Hawks. So this would be a nice experience for both you and me. And then we get the mark of the team we join. It's the same thing for all the teams. And of course, we get Patamon. I believe that Patamon is supposedly based off a cherub, you know, the fat little baby angels that you see on Valentine's Day, and Cupid. Kind of goes along in his Digivolution line. Even though he really doesn't represent a cherub so much as he does a pig. And yes, I know that whole scene in the anime, him not wanting to be a pig. Even though he does whine like one. And we gotta give him a name. Well, you don't have to. You can just keep his regular name. Unfortunately, if you decide to keep Patamon with his regular name, he keeps it even though he digivolves into something else. So let's choose something for him to change into. And since I mentioned Cupid, I think I'll just choose that. Really, names aren't all that important in this, so we'll just call him Cupid. Thank you, Miss Cecilia. Our first mission is to go to SCSI, Domain, and defeat the boss. Thank you, ma'am. On my way. Oh boy, here we go. This is Bertrand. He'll act as our rival for this. So he's pretty much the Gary Oak to Akira's Ash, even though Akira's not that stupid. And Joy's kind of along for the ride. She's kind of a neutral party to all this, even though she hangs around Bertrand. And Bertrand's a dick. Can't make that more obvious. If you ever want to talk to them, God help you if you want to talk with Bertrand. If you want to talk with him or Joy, they'll be in the tamer room. Ah, finally I can walk around. Open up the menu. Hello, Patamon. See, he's a rookie type. He's got no specialty. He's level 1. It's the HP, his stats, and parents. You guys might be asking about that. Well, that's kind of where DNA Digivolution comes into play. And I don't know if I should be talking about this because I don't have a lot of time left, but... Oh, and here we can buy some items. These only benefit the data type. Except for these. These actually weaken the vaccine type. These are the gifts that we're given. Let's buy a couple. Let's hope that we can get ourselves some friends when we hop into the main field. And what I find really fucking stupid is that anything you buy, it goes into the server and not your Digibeetle. So you have to transfer all of that over to your beetle, and it becomes very, very monotonous. Start out with 2 HP discs and an MP disc. task. Basic recovery items. And we're already out of money. We only got 60 bits. Damn. And these are the security guards. They don't like how we play all that much. Thanks for telling me the obvious. Jeez. Well, I think that's going to be doing it for today. So I think I'll just stop here. And next time in Let's Play Digimon World 2, we'll be heading out on our first mission to the SCSI domain, and maybe we can recruit some friends to help us along with our cause. Here's hoping. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.